Okay, here's the before pics, and here's the after. Let's get started. Central vertical section. We are going to lay our comb at the high point of the fringe, and we are going to carve out a section to the corner of each eye. Take our comb clip, slide it in for isolation. Now we're going to take a triangular section at the center, and we are going to thumb grip it and create a nice organic cutting line, zero elevation, and I'm just doing these C-shaped cutting movements to create these fine points of interest. Okay, now let's grab a central vertical section and let's create our guide for the entire fringe zone. Okay, we're going to over direct everything towards the hairline and cut. Everything towards the hairline and cut. This is going to be a stationary guide, taking vertical sections and over directing everything to the center and cutting right to that guide. We're going to continue in this motion till there's no more hair to cut and repeat on the opposite side. We're going to push everything towards that hairline, towards that guide, and cut. Okay. Now we are all set already. A beautiful fringe created and face framing. Now we have this great radial section from the parietal ridge all the way down to the occipital. Central vertical section. We're going to use the guide from our previous zone, the fringe, and cut into a short to long movement. This will be a stationary guide as well, over directing everything to that guide and cutting from short to long or a triangular cutting line. We're going to continue till there's no more hair to cut. And then we'll repeat on the opposite side. I'm going to use the comb as a guiding reference to do not pass. Same thing on the opposite side. We are going to comb everything to that center and cut the triangular cutting line. All set. Now we're going to isolate the front to the back, and we're going to take a central vertical section, lift everything, and find your guide from the previous top zone, and there it is right there. And we are just going to layer and cut. We're going to over direct everything to that guide and continue cutting these beautiful layers that are going to flow nicely in the back. We're at the round of the head, so we're just over directing to the previous and cutting into the guide that you've created. We'll do the same on the opposite. Vertical sections, over directing to the previous and cutting. Okay, now let's do some face framing blending. We are going to use the guide from our original fringe that we cut in. And we're going to comb the rest of the hair into it. And watch how I just slide my finger down till the guide pops out and take these concise little movements, just whittling our way through the sides to create this soft diagonal layering and blending everything together. We'll do the same on the opposite side. Slide your finger down until your guide drops, and then just use these concise movements and continue in that manner until all the hair from a side is blended into this face framing flow. Drop your guide, let it slide, and there you go, concise movements. Use the other side as your visual. And this is a great way to create balance, to create softness, to connect those short fringe pieces to the sides. Again, get right to that center. Drop the guide, staying center, and cutting these soft, concise movements. Do the same on the opposite. Over direct everything using the center or her nose as a guide and creating balance on both sides. Slide down and continue to cut. And there you go, creating balance and connection for face framing. Okay, now we're going to do the perimeter. You can see how we isolated that mid zone, and we're just working with that perimeter, starting from the sides, bringing everything towards the back. It's going to be more of a round type shape, and we're using the side as our guide. As you can see, from the sides we're working towards the back and then deciding exactly how long and what shape we'd like it to be. This is a great way to connect. And just we'll continue to drop it down. And now we're going to take that C cutting technique and create these nice soft perimeter, almost like a razor, but with a little bit more control. Continue until there's no more hair to cut. Drop everything down. C-shape cutting, zero elevation. And now we're going to go into some volumizing spray by Silk. I love this. Heat protection is phenomenal, and it gives you just the right element for volume. And now we're going to do some detailed round brushing. Nice little blowout, very focused. This will give her some polish. This will give her shine, and this will give her some bounce and movements. And we're going to style everything away from the face. We'll do that on both sides. This will create some beautiful movement and really showcase the layers that we put in. These long inverted layers are a great go-to. And look at this finish, absolutely beautiful. And now we are going to really fine-tune the detail. Let's remove weight exactly where we want to. Do that on both sides of the fringe, taking my thinning shear. And now we're going to take my regular scissor. We are going to weave and over direct everything back to remove more weight exactly where we want to move it. What's happening here is we're creating short pieces that are pushing the long pieces away from the face. And it just lays so nice and smooth. This is fine-tuning detailing. We're going to use a little Silk texture spray, which has heat protection up to 460 degrees. And there you have it, guys. I hope you love this gorgeous cut on this beautiful woman. We're going to do a little teasing. Just having fun with this and creating new finishing techniques. I always like to try new things, new ways to inspire. And this will give her just a little bit more of an edgier, lived-in look, but adding some volume. And then we'll manipulate it with our fingers and really get it to lay beautifully. And there you go, guys. Gorgeous, long, inverted hair cutting technique. I hope you love it.